All right, it has been way too long since I've actually gotten into depth on anything, kind of shown you in a longer video on what I'm actually doing here. Obviously, you guys already know this is a 12-valve Cummins that I'm putting coilovers on, 16 inches of travel, hydro assist steering, all the best stuff. But right now, my engine's out, so still have the head off. I still got to do that. But basically, the reason why I brought it out is I want to reseal this whole thing. So cam gear's got to come out. This case has got to come off because I want to redo that, seal, do all the other seals. I'll retime it. I drive like a grandpa most of the time, and the rest of it, I'm building this for rock crawling, of course. So the best timing I've seen on these things is about 15.5 degrees of timing. So I'm going to run that this time. I haven't ran that number exactly, but I'm going to give that a shot. I don't think I'll go into any details on doing any of the seals on this thing. Something I showed on Instagram are these. So these are some bash mounts that I'm making. This one specifically is for the inside frame rail of the driver's side. I have one on the inside frame rail of the passenger side. Why am I doing this, and why am I even talking about this? Because that's a big oil pan on that engine. And if I'm rock crawling, if I'm going off-road, I want to protect that like crazy. And I wanted a big, stout engine cross member that I can build a skid plate off of. So this is going to go on there. This is all 1/4 inch. When I eventually put these up for sale on the internet, super easy to put together. Everything kind of falls into place. So you'll weld it up here first, get that all in line. These go in there. And then, yeah, this is going to sit high, so it does clear the snout of the pumpkin, that front drive shaft, so that's why it's higher up on the frame. But everything's 1/4 inch. It's going to use a 1/2 inch bolt. You could put a 2-inch wide tube in here or anything else, or go wider and do like box and have the bolts go through it. But this will have to do a 90-degree turn to go clear that drive shaft and then go underneath that engine oil pan. I have other ones. These are more universal fit that you could use on any vehicle, but this will go where the frame rail is sitting right here. Same concept though. On my truck specifically, I'm going to tie these two in together. So I have a flat skid from the engine oil pan, from the transmission oil pan on back. So that'll be super sick once I get there. To show you the details of why you're probably even watching this, let's check out this front axle. So I actually have the axle at full stuff right now. Truss is officially welded on. Ram mounts are welded on. But what you're looking at here is a SuperDuty 60 axle. We have a double-ended ram here for hydro assist. And then I have a Lee power steering ported box. So the normal Dodge box, that has a rearward swing pitman arm. This one has been changed. So you do have to change the inside worm gear if you want to flip it. You just can't flip it around. Otherwise, you'll have backward steering. But this has a forward swing pitman arm. It's ported for hydro assist now. And then I've actually moved it back almost 3 inches, 2 7/8 to be exact. But I moved it back because forward swing. And that's going over here to a high steer arm on this SuperDuty axle. So I know that angle looks pretty aggressive, and it is. If this was a normal power steering, I wouldn't be running it, but I know other guys who are running hydro assist with this angle on the drag link, and there's zero issues. But the reason why I had to do that, reason why I couldn't do a rearward swing, anything like that, is this fitment. So you can see how much room I have here, which is not much. But yeah, above that Allen bolt on the top, the engine oil pan is like 1 inch from that at full stuff. So there's no room above it. Drag link, I've already explained, is going to go on the back side, and I'll show you that once I actually get all that in there. But you can see the clearance there. Obviously, I'm not done, but I'm going to build a plate and then weld it in there so it's all boxed in. And then that comes over here. So since I'm doing forward swing, I did need to clearance this frame. So this, when this is all the way driver, this gives me all the clearance I need to clearance this TRE. So I will box that in so it's nice and strong, but it is clearanced. And then that goes here. You can see the clearance there. So I'll add a little bit more, especially in this area, kind of do what I did here. This is only a 1.5 inch diameter drag link. I'll probably go to 1.75 aluminum. So I do need more clearance, so it's just going to add 1/8 more. Here I'm fine, but not there. This is over a 1/4 inch gap. And then, to show you this. This is notching the frame out for this drag link. So that was the hardest part, trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a drag link. It's cool that I can keep it nice and straight, so it keeps it simple. Plenty of room from that ram, so I don't know if you can see it, but there's just, yeah, tons of clearance. It's just basically that front truss is very tight, but I know that's how we like it. So that's perfect. And then, yeah, I'm running EMF ball joints on this, uppers and lowers, not doing a ball joint delete or anything. And these are cool because obviously the zinc to, or the Zerk fitting to actually grease these is right on top. Usually they're on the bottom here, and working around that U-joint is the biggest pain in the butt, and it's like a certain magic trick you have to get down, and then you forget how you actually got it in there. But grease fitting on the top, on the lower one, it's on the bottom, so it's gonna be super easy for maintenance on that. And the only thing I have to add to this axle, well, eventually I'll plate this whole frame, get all that plated in, box that in, and then I have to get my upper arms welded on the backside. I'm not quite done there yet. And before I put the engine in, I need to get the track bar mounted on that driver's side. Big thing I want to do that for is I'm probably going to box it in on this motor mount, and I might reinforce those motor mounts a little bit more. And that skid plate goes right on the other side of that. So once I get all that in, once I get the track bar mount in, then I'll throw the engine in, and then I'll work on the coilover towers, because I have to clear that turbo on this side. I want to clear the engine intake on this side, since you have a tube that goes here, kind of diagonal there. So that'll give me a good start. I'm really trying to get most of this done by Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to be there, since this is done with the first week of November. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. This is full stuff though. It's going to be sick. I'm so excited. And yeah, I will update you later. I know I'm doing a horrible job on it, but this is a longer video kind of showing you what's up. And I'm going to get back to work. Psych, I just rewatched that and I totally forgot to talk about the sway bar. So the other thing I wanted to show you is the sway bar. So that's what this bar tube right there is. Normal sway bar bolts on about right here. And then obviously that would have just been in the way of everything. But the main reason why I had to move this is you want the arm from the sway bar and then the link from the arm down to the axle. Those should be at minimum the same length of the stroke of the shock. So since I'm running a 16-inch stroke shock, this arm needs to be minimum 16 inches, and then that link needs to be a minimum of 16 inches. That way you get full articulation out of that sway bar. You're not running into a situation where if you actually want full travel, you have to unbolt it, all that stuff. But that's why it's here. It's gonna clear everything perfectly. And yeah, that only works though because I moved that steering box back 3 inches, because now I have enough room. If that steering box was where it came factory, it'd be completely in the way of where this sway bar tube is. But yeah, that's the other update I wanted to show you, and yeah, I think I'm out.